Now, in the process of standard setting, now these are processes which must be followed in the event of setting or coming up with standards which are necessary in recording and presentation and preparation of accounts. Now, which are these standards? So we can see number one is to prepare the topic. You must have the topic. Which kind of or which area are you dealing with? Which stage of recording of business transaction are you dealing with? So you need to have the topic. Which standard do you want to come up with? Then pre-agenda. Pre-agenda means you prepare the agenda in advance. Now once the agenda has been prepared, then we have the agenda now. Now the agenda will direct or drive us to what is supposed to be handled. Remember, agenda acts as the best driver in every plan. As someone said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That is why we need to have an agenda. What is the agenda of standard setting process? So once we have the agenda, then deliberate. Deliberate on principles of management. How will you come up with the necessary principles? Then issue a document. So a document must be issued to the public. Prepare a document which will be given to the public to go through. Then once public meeting. Now the public meeting must be convinced, must be arranged so that the document can be discussed. So once you have issued the document to the public will go through the draft. After they have gone through the draft, then it is the mandate that the public now is called upon. A meeting is arranged with the public so that the point of view can be heard from the public. So you bring forth the stakeholders in different institutions, in the accounting department, and listen to their stories, giving them a chance to air their views. Redeliberate on current report. So after you are done with the meeting, you go and now go through the report. Think about the report. What determine on the issues which were raised during the public meeting. Once you have deliberated on the report, issue a financial statement. Issue a financial standard. Now, once you have issued the financial standards, education must come in. Educate people on the importance of these financial accounting standards. So the accounting standard which has been issued can now be implemented. So the implementation session is critical. In other words, we are saying structuring is very important. You must have a structure which gives us the framework of the right action. And then number two, you give us the evaluation. Document being issued to the public, preparing a meeting with the public, then deliberating upon the current report is all about evaluation. Once you've gone through evaluation, then you can now present the information to the next stage, and which is the last agreement. Agreement must be reached. So you issue now the financial standards. And these financial standards must be critical in the education of the public on how now to use these standards and then implement down the standards. So this gives us the process of standard setting, and we'll look at each and every one for more detailed understanding. Now identify the topic. The board identifies the financial reporting issues on request, recommendation from stakeholders, or through the other means. So it is the board who will come in and identify the information that is required based on the standard setting. Number two, pre-agenda research. The Financial Accounting Standard Board decides whether to add a project to the technical agenda based on staff-prepared analysis of the issues. Number 3, make agenda decisions. So here we are now preparing agenda. So the board of deliberate at one or more public meetings the various report issues, identifying and analyzing by the draft. Deliberate at the public meeting. The board of directors, the board deliberate on issuing an exposure draft to solicit broad stakeholders' input. Issue document for public comments. In some projects, the board may issue a discussion paper to obtain input in early stage of the project. Then next, public meeting. The board has to hold a public roundtable meeting on the exposure draft if necessary. Then we'll re-deliberate on the comments and research. So the staff analyze comment letters, public roundtable discussion, and all other information obtained through the due processes activities. The board re-deliberate the process provision, carefully considering the stakeholders' input received at one or more public meetings. Issue of financial standards. The board issue an accounting standard update describing the amendment to accounting standard codification. Education. The board make arrangement for education session to the public. Then implementation. The standards are due for implementation for accountability and transparency in the business world. So these are processes. So if we want to come up with standards which are good in the organization, standards which will be used worldwide, generally accepted accounting standards goes through these processes. These are processes which are normally used in the preparation of accounting standard. So accounting standard can never be useful unless a process has been followed. Every accounting standard goes through a process, and it is the work of Financial Accounting Standard Board to arrange for this. Remember the regulatory framework whereby we have the 3 bodies, and one of the critical body is the Financial Accounting Standard Board, who are now mandated to arrange and prepare the accounting standard. So these are the processes which are necessary in the preparation of accounting standard. Thank you.